get the guys to come in, but I'll tell you the story. So, hello. Kuja mgeni amefika. So this is our pilot plan. What we are trying to scale up in Kisumu. This is where it began. We currently do about 90 trays of eggs per day, which is about vis-a-vis the flock we have, we are about 77% yield. That's not very good profitably, but it's very good for a plant like this with the kind of equipment that we have. So we have about 3,800 hens or layers. They're called layers. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go in. So
yeah.
So what we like to do is we like to disinfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because the biggest control in an egg, in a poultry farm, is biosecurity. Right. It's the people who go in that carry the most diseases than anyone else. So actually, we limit whoever comes in here. Always find that there are much less people coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
So we have 3 compartments here, and the idea is you segregate them to control. But today's a particularly crazy day, so you come when the real stuff is going on.
Good.
So you see. So this is the brains behind the business. So these 2 guys are the excellent. And we just wanted you to see the eggs, so we didn't just collect already. So you can see it's real. So you can come. And this is what we need to change.
Right.
Collecting it like this, the cost of that is very expensive. And you have, like today in Europe or in the US, all that collects itself.
Is it automated? Right.
It's completely automated. This is it. So the flock like this takes about 15 months. And out of just this, you can keep at least more than 100 families of maize growers just trying to supply this with feed. Just that. And if we can get this. So the program that I am trying to cook up in my head is 1 egg, 1 child per week. And just try and sell this egg profitably, but to help the protein scenario. Because we know that the biggest problem in Africa now is stunted growth. And protein is the answer. Because then you can make sure that these kids' brains grow to their full potential. One of the reasons Africa is not realizing its full potential is that we have stunted growth. So you have a good physical body, but somebody's mind will never grow to its capacity. And the difference is protein. Because we are ugali, and ugali doesn't grow. There's no profit, so it doesn't work.
So the health care for chickens that are kept in cages like this, it is difficult for them to stay healthy? I mean, so there has to be a huge vaccination. We vaccinate these chickens like once or twice a year?
So of course, there's a lot of discussion about caged birds and the free
range.
The free range. The thing about this is, I think people are considering that there is a psychology of this bird. If that is really there or not is a question.
I mean, do they have brains for chickens for brains or brains for chickens?
So am I feeling bad? Is a question that you're feeling. Is the chicken unhappy? Is the chicken so that's the conversation that's really going on now, and that needs to be changed around. The point for us is Because we can do this, we can feed these communities. And we can change.
Oh, I
this
see. I know. I see why you're doing it. No, I understand. But I agree. First of all, I completely agree. It's nice to be nice to the chickens.
Yes.
But it's expensive to be nice to the chickens.
Yes.
So I understand the dilemma.
Yes.
If there was more, if it wasn't the fact that you had so many poor people that need to help,
Yeah.
you could be a little bit more magnanimous.
Yeah, it can be a sweet deal.
But for a chicken to produce healthy eggs, I mean when the chicken's feathers are rubbed off their bodies like that can't be healthy for the chicken, can it?
So that's why we are. So in the new plant where we're gonna go, these are cheap. We use cheap cages from China, and now we wanna do some nice looking cages. You can see some of them are pretty healthy.
Yeah, no, some of them are very healthy.
Yeah,
and they bite.
Yeah, so they're real. But the question is, we just need to change this system. This is not normal. I agree with you.
Right. So with the feed that they're receiving now here in these troughs, what goes into feeding a chicken for production like this?
In terms of quantity?
What is the actual ingredients and then how much?
The actual ingredients there are basically three big ingredients. We are actually making our own feed because, like I said, we are buying the maize.
Right.
So we used to buy the feed.
Right.
But now we are taking it. We are making our own feed.
Right.
To bring our cost down by 30%. If we make our own feed. But what really goes in is really wheat pollen.
Wheat.
Maize.
Maize.
Maize pollen.
Maize pollen.
Sunflower seeds or cotton seeds.
Sunflower or cotton seeds.
Yeah. And after that, we put in a premix of smaller micro things to just help
them. And where is their water source?
You can see that this is water.
Oh, so they can actually take the water out.
That's what it is.
Ah.
And they have water throughout because even in one of this, water is like 90% of a chicken.
Same thing a human.
Yes.
It's even more, right?
So we have water supplied. For the 4 of them, they just need 1 of that.
Really?
And you can see the water. So that's where you vaccinate them. So that's the source.
So you actually put the vaccinations in the water?
Yes.
Aha. Versus giving them injections.
Can you imagine?
Oh, how much you would have to do, right?
How much you have to do.
Right. And this manure is probably good fertilizer, right?
It's fantastic fertilizer. But you kind of need to mix it in a certain way, otherwise it will...
Too acidic?
Yeah, it will be too acidic. And so one of the things I want to do now is create a market. But we are using it in the feed for making food for the dairy. Our dairy side of the business. We have to grow our own food.
So in this space here, how many chickens here?
About 3,800.
About 3,800.
So what I told you is right now in Kisumu we have. So this is a sick one.
Yeah, he looks sick.
Yeah, we remove them. So what we do is try to take them out, try to help them get well, and put them back in. If not, they will be culled, which means they'll be removed.
Right.
Yeah. And this is the part of the business that's tough. Because mortality rate really affects your productivity.
Right.
Level.
So what's in a space like this? What is the mortality rate?
So you need to keep your mortality rate at 5%.
At 5.
What's our current mortality rate? We're keeping it about 3% now.
I think it's about 3%.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But that's tough work. You really have to do. And you can see this is unautomated. Half of this, it's basically manual. That's what we want to change. In Kisumu, we will have a much robust system where we can control this much better.
Interesting.
So the cost of labor here is about 15%, and you want to take that down a bit.
Right.
It helps us to employ the community, but that other game there.
Yeah,
community.
Right, a little balance, right?
Yeah. So we are trying to get this out.
Right.
So here we cannot get it. And you see, we try to get some water
capture our own water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So, Frank, when do you think the project in Kisumu will be up and running?
Well, hopefully we can get you there when you leave here, on your way.
On the way back.
But I will be having eggs from October.
Oh, so next month.
Yes, next month we will start to harvest a bit. But full scale in November, I will be 21,000 eggs a day.
Okay, so your net income from an operation like that in Kisumu will be what? What percent?
So it's about 15%.
About 15%.
But we are on the investment period.
Right.
So all that is being plowed back.
Plow back in, right.
Yeah, and what we haven't created now is the intangible part of the business, which means creating a brand.
Right. So the how long will it take to be for it's sustainable?
I'm expecting in 3 years' time.
3 years'
it will
time.
be fully sustainable. We can have a quick look.
Yeah.
Let's go this way. We'll finish up
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
You have to do two things very well. You have to do production at a very good level of efficiency. This way.
Right.
You have to be able to do that. So efficiency is everything in production. But then you have to also do a very good job in marketing. So you have to have investments on both sides of the business.
Right.
Otherwise, if the marketing side is not done, and this is where a lot of Africa is failing, is there's a lot of good stuff going on in production, very little going on in marketing. And we know where the money is.
Right.
And so we have to also invest in a brand to make this whole thing sustainable.
Right.
Yeah? So here we're trying something else, which is the broiler business now.
The broiler.
Yeah. We have a supermarket for this at the moment.
Which one?
For the broilers.
Which supermarket?
No, we have a supermarket. Sorry.
You mean you have people, because all the other chickens I understand coming to this part of Kenya are frozen.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that.
So this is going very well. We are actually at 0% mortality rate, growing up very well. They're doing an excellent job. And this, after we establish our Kisumu layer side, this is next.
Next, so the broilers
and
after
make
the
it
layer.
as big.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
again, testing. This is not very common where you put layers and broilers in the same space.
Right.
Actually, you should put them like 10 kilometers apart. But we're also testing that to see that's the theory. Why? But the understanding is very clear. 15 months old chicken versus 1 day old. This one has such a resilience against diseases. This one doesn't. And these diseases come here
and spread to there.
Clear your business.
Right.
And we keep these things for 42 days to sell them. If you don't sell them by the 43rd day,
right,
your business model collapses. Just the feed for a day is enough to completely destroy your business.
Right. So you need the market. In advance of so you need a pre.
So you need a value chain. You need the chilling. You need to be able to freeze it.
Right.
So we'll start here and come. This is like the heifers that are coming up. They're born here, some of them. And so this is good. But now we have 22 cows here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is it. So normally that's how you keep the cows. This is a resting place. This is a feeding place. And right at the end there is the... Would you like to walk in?
Sure.
So that's a resting place. They even have mattresses if you check. To keep them happy.
Keep them happy.
Yeah, because they need to give you value.
Right, so you can milk them.
Yes. Well,
keep them happy.
Pay to milk them. So
a little newborn.
Yes.
Okay.
It's about a week.
Mm-hmm.
About a week. Here we normally just go under. Do you want to come?
No, I can. It's good.
But the milking.
Oh,
that's where we
so
do
we can go. You want to go
it.
see it? I can see the machines.
Yeah. So you milk from there, then we take it into, we add value. Remember, we don't want to sell it at this level
Right.
because it's the lowest level of income. And so our job is to create value so
Right.
we allow farmers to do what we are doing here.
Right.
This is, sorry, the idea here is not to, we want to show this community, you can do this here. We do it here. So we want to build a training school here.
Uh-huh.
So that guys can come, people can be attached here, people can work here. The guys who work here are locals. This is one of the guys. He's the expert. He works here. He comes from this community, so he knows now that we can get milk from Korea, from this type of farmers. There are
Right.
many other farmers we have. Yeah. So that's the idea. We want to make this a milk district and change the way things are done. So these are the heifers. They're not yet being milked, so no mattresses. So working on that one, and then there are smaller ones. So this is where we prepare the feed.
Uh-huh.
So we need to reinvest into this area a bit. It's not the kind of place we would like it to
Right.
be. So I'm now working on the numbers to see what we need to re-engineer this
Right.
a bit. Because again, you want a model farm.
Frank, just out of a curiosity,
Go ahead.
because I've I made this discovery about rabbits a while ago, and
Careful there. Just keep walking, don't stop.
yeah, those red ants.
I'll
The
show you the smaller ones now. So this
Yeah.
is the future of any dairy farm has to have the future within it. This is the future.
so I understand all
Yeah.
this, and I understand culturally how to, stay
We
with
need to
these.
keep walking.
Yeah, otherwise don't let them crawl up your leg.
Otherwise you have to take off the pants. Mchunge chini kuna naona nika siafu ama hiyo nini?
Ah, si wale.
Yeah.
We're going to ask something. Go ahead.
I was going to ask about. I mean, culturally, people are familiar with cows. You're teaching them that they can have dairy cows as well as, individual. Could have a farm versus just a individual cow for your house.
Sure.
But animals like livestock, like rabbits, which reproduce at such a rapid rate, and they need to be cared for, but it's not as complicated as
No.
taking care of cows. Why doesn't in a country that has looking for ways to create new protein sources?
Yeah.
Why not rabbits as a viable?
So I'll tell you my thinking.
Yeah.
What I think. Personally, I've kept rabbits. Me and my wife.
Right. They're too cute.